our model?
Sure. So this particular section is going to address the common challenges which organizations face in managing multiple compliance requirements, right? Again, these are at a high level what we have listed, 6 of them. But if you are facing currently some more friction points, feel free to jot down in the chat and ask questions if you have, right? The first one where it says constrained resources, right? Multiple workflows doing parallel compliance activities, right? Like each department or team may have its own set of compliance requirements, but there are duplicate efforts which often lead to inefficiencies and resource drain. And every team also must feel the accountability within the team for compliance, right? It's not like a particular step or a stage where you start talking about compliance. It should be right from the design phase, right from your planning phase, right? Everything has to move to the left, to Ken's point where he was saying privacy by design, security by design, right? That comes into picture. Another constraint, what we have noticed is GRC is usually the governance, risk, and compliance teams are usually we have a perception that they are roadblockers rather than assuming that they are the strategic partners in achieving the integrated compliance, right? So the compliance activities are viewed as hindrance, again, to not just progress, even for innovation and agility, right? The second friction point currently companies encounter is complexity, right? Organizations are often overwhelmed, right, because of the sheer volume of requirements which they have to adhere to, making it very challenging to maintain compliance. And it also brings them down to not use the right guidance and tools. They also do not have clear understanding of which requirements pose the greatest risk. That's another thing, right? And many organizations may allocate resources, but those are inefficient, bringing out inefficiencies and also leading to sometimes compliance breaches, regulatory scrutiny, right? So lack of necessary infrastructure, processes, and technologies will also lead to the data, which is again not compliant, and this deficiency will hamper ability to demonstrate compliance, but also, exposes them to the risk of data breaches, regulatory fines, and reputational damage. The next one, friction point, is cultural resistance. So the resistance usually stems from various factors, which can include fear of change, uncertainty about the new technologies, and also they have a lot of concerns that the existing workflows are disrupted, right? Sometimes there is no involvement or also support from leadership. So without the strong advocacy from senior management, the effort to adopt, again, new technologies and also even methodologies associated with SDLC projects will face a lot of roadblocks. Another friction point is cumbersome and inconsistent procedures. As you all are aware that we usually end up drafting a procedure either to address a particular existing issue or as part of a remediation project, where we encounter a particular issue, right? So over the time, the documents organically grow in the landscape. Sometimes they don't have a parent, which is either a standard or a policy, and people don't understand which one to follow, where to enter and where to exit. So one size fits all approach to compliance sometimes doesn't work. So lack of integration, that's the next one, where making sure that, that silos approach, what Dave was mentioning earlier, which again leads to inconsistencies, duplications, and also leaves gaps in compliance coverage, is what we have frequently noticed are happening in current practices. Again, from the visual perspective, you can imagine, because of this lack of integration, how different branches of processes and even data are populated. The last one is the compliance redundancy. So again, redundant CAPAs for identical issues and also for identical agendas. There are different audits, internal audits, which occur. Again, they create a lot of superfluous work. Quality and compliance sometimes are not interconnected, and that's where this particular session we want to introduce and make you understand how you can tackle each of these friction points and bring about the integrated compliance together.